The secret to growing the perfect potatoes, well, it just may be in the soil. And one researcher is digging up answers that could help farmers score even higher yields. It's all happening right here at the University of Minnesota, and we're giving you a glimpse of it all this weekend. The Spectacular Spud is a fan favorite across the U.S. More than 1/3 of all potatoes grown in the U.S. are used to make frozen products. 85% of that is made into French fries, and 22% of potatoes grown in the U.S. are actually turned into potato chips.
See, this is pretty good set here.
A crop that's packed with vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. Potatoes are also a focus here at the University of Minnesota.
I look at ways of improving nutrient use efficiency for that crop in Minnesota. And I look at ways to manage nitrogen in particular more efficiently so that the crop takes it up and it doesn't get lost to the environment.
Carl Rosen is an extension soil scientist whose job is to be obsessed with potatoes.
I've learned that potatoes are a crop that will surprise you. When you think you have it worked out, there's always going to be something that's going to be different the following year.
Unlocking secrets in the soil is something that could help the more than 20,000 potato farmers across the U.S.
Soil health is important because it is a way to provide nutrients, but also a microbial community that's conducive for plant roots to grow. And so we want an environment that plant can grow and can also cover the soil and keep it so that you're not losing nutrients and soil to the environment.
One area he's focused on is soil-borne diseases that can really impact root growth of potatoes.
So the one disease that I look at is what we call potato early dying. It's a verticillium disease caused by a fungus, verticillium. That is prevalent in any soil that potatoes are grown, at least in the upper Midwest, where potatoes have been grown for an extended period of time.
Potatoes are typically grown in sandier soils, soils that aren't able to store much nutrients.
And so what I'm trying to do is find management practices that work well to produce the yield, have a sustainable crop, but then at the same time reduce any environmental impacts from those inputs.
But one important piece of growing potatoes, according to Rosen, is crop rotation. Another piece of the research here is looking at cover crops and how potatoes respond to different cover crops used across the U.S.
So, for example, to control soil-borne diseases, the main way of doing that now is using chemical fumigants. Okay, so what we're trying to do is maybe look at a rotation crop that would be able to produce chemicals on its own when it's incorporated into the soil to provide what we call a biofumigant.
He says when farmers use chemical fumigants, it can often kill what's good in the soil.
You use things like fumigants, you're altering the microbiology of that soil. And you're killing the pathogen, but you're also killing the beneficial microbes as well.
The other downfall of some of the fumigants used is the cost.
If you're using chemical fumigants, it can be as much as $300, $350 an acre or more. The prices are going up. So if you can be more precise in where you put it, you'd be saving input costs, for one. So you wouldn't be unnecessarily applying it where you don't need it.
From looking at different sources of nitrogen to testing different types of irrigation, Rosen says producing potatoes can be a complicated system, but it all boils down to yield. Well, what if you could scout those potato fields, but also treat any diseases when you see them? And better yet, what if all that happened hands-free? It could be an option quicker than you think. That's next.
Purchase with a Purpose is brought to you by the Mighty Micro from Mosaic Micro Essentials. We put more in so you can get more out. Visit microessentials.com to learn more.